Hey guys, the Fuzz here. I recently got to play around with the new Crimson drivers, and I'm going to be doing a little review and tell you what I think about them. Okay, so I got the driver installed. There's some issues I wanted to cover with this. If you know how you normally would install your Callus installer, and a lot of people were having issues with this with the new Crimson. The way I found to work, because I actually had to try a few different things, a few different ways have failed. Um, Best thing to do, fully make sure that you clean out all the old stuff. Get rid of it all. Restart. Once you're restarted, turn off any antivirus actively running in the background. Apparently, the Crimson does not like this. Then do the install. Hopefully, it'll run through. It seems if it doesn't work, you'll get stuck at either 2% or 16%. And I got it where first it froze at 2%. Then I got to 16%, and the screen flickered like it normally does when you install fresh drivers. But then it just sat there flickering the screen. The program became unresponsive. So then I did the whole restart, and then I attempted it, and it seemed to work out just fine. But we right click. You can also go down. There's the new icon for it, Radiant setting. So here's the new layout. Got your gaming. It's kind of like if you ever used that gaming app the AMD had. This part right here is kind of like that, where you can open up individual games, make profiles. That's your profile screen. So they kind of simplified that for you. It made it easier layout for your game profiles. Here you can add profiles if you want. Browse for a game, scan. Although you shouldn't have to scan, it should do it automatically. Any games you have that aren't listed here, you'll have to go browse and then find the directory. Then you have your video. Here's your system layout, tells you everything. But here you can get your, like here I'm running Crossfire, so you can bring up information. And if you're running two different AMD cards, you can bring them up there. Now, if you're worried as far as, say, settings and stuff, like you open up display, and this is all you get right here is pretty much these four options. Your scaling, super resolution, all that stuff. You can still bring up the older style where you had more options. If you hit additional settings, here's basically the old Catalyst layout. Now, you'll notice that you don't have as many options in here as you did before, but that's because they're now in the Crimson. But here you could still bring this up. Crossfire settings, audio, if you run it through the card. Display options, all that stuff. Yeah, so you still have global settings here. So if you want to say, if you wanted to overclock, you know how you used to do that in the Catalyst control where you'd have to bring it up and then you would have to select the cards individually. So here's the new overclock layout. Now this isn't my 390, these are my Crossfire 290s I got in right now. But yeah, here's your power limit GPU clock. I don't know, I like this a little bit better. And I actually like to run, because these AMDs do like to tend to get warm. And AMD likes to wait for it to get hot before, really hot before they start to boost up your speed at all. And even then, it's only like 30% if that. So I like to run it at a higher fan speed. Fans are cheaper to replace than GPU. Wait, what did it, what? Hold on. Does it only take action once it's running? I'm not sure why when I hit apply. Now here's my second card. I usually run this around 70 because it doesn't get nearly as hot. Nah, I'm not sure why it's resetting my. Okay, I don't know if that's going to come on once I actually activate the cards, but as of right now, if you hit apply, it seems to reset your settings. Let's try it on something else. Let's just boost this. Say, let's boost this about 10%. See if it resets that as well. No, it won't let me manually control the fans. I'm not, because it kept the power limit increase 10%. I'm not sure what's going on with the fan speed. I'm not sure when I apply an option, it resets the fan to auto. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, Well, let's go and try this out in an actual game and see what happens. Okay, so I'm trying this out. As you can see here, I have my settings on Ultra. Gonna see how well it plays out. I'm gonna try this in Battlefront. Although I've already noticed something weird. Now, it's hard to say if this is an issue with Battlefront or the new Crimson drivers. Because Battlefront's full of issues. But do you notice these little blocks here that randomly pop up all over the place? Up here in the black, like right here. I'm getting these little random blocks. Textures missing. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, we're gonna try it out here with Ultra. It's hard to say with this game what issues you're having is whose fault, because this game seems to have a lot of issues for a lot of people. So I'm gonna have to try a couple different games here. So this part seems to be doing okay. One thing I noticed that certain things just aren't happening. Like the sparks don't seem as full as they were. Like you notice here, half the time I shoot the water, it's like the textures don't show up. See that? It's just weird. Oh, maybe this is how the sparks were supposed to look. For some reason, before my computer was just making them look way too flamboyant. I noticed a lot of the lighting looks good. And like I was saying, half the issues you have with Battlefront is usually just Battlefront being Battlefront. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Crimson driver yet. Battlefront's giving me issues, and which I was willing to forgive because that game always gives me issues. But here, even in Fallout, this is a game that normally runs at least 60 to 90 frames per second. Right now, I'm hitting anywhere from 20 to 30 in all the same settings. I'm having a lot more issues with this game now. But then I'll get random spikes of 60 and then back down to 20. It's really weird. I also noticed something else. Notice the compass there on the bottom? Notice the broken textures? Yeah, I think the Crimson driver is going to need a little bit more work. Noticing a bunch of broken textures. Yeah, guys, I would just stick clear of Crimson right now. I actually had to use an AMD cleanup utility. I couldn't even uninstall the program because the Crimson also takes care of the uninstallation process just like it does to install it. And their uninstaller crashed several times. I couldn't uninstall my drivers because the program just wasn't able to stay stable. So I had to use a AMD cleanup utility. This guy right here. You can find it on the AMD site. But yeah, AMD cleanup utility. So until they get whatever they need to figure it out. Right now, I would just stick with the 15.11 beta, and it's been fairly stable for me. I haven't had any of these issues that I'm having with Crimson. But yeah, I was having missing textures, random blotches. I couldn't even control the fans. It would knock my fan speed up to like 80%. I even tried lowering it just to see what it would do, and every time I hit apply, it would just reset. Yeah, until they get this issue figured out, I would most definitely just go ahead and not use it. But hey, guys, thanks for watching the video. I do appreciate it. Any questions at all, feel free to ask. If you enjoyed the video or you did find it helpful, please drop a like. It does help me out. I'm always posting new videos like this all the time, so please feel free to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you all later.